Okay, so we are live. Awesome. So this event, um, the purpose of it is just to um, introduce uh, the the series of events that we have this spring in the month of May that are all centered around exploring AI a little bit more because that is something that as an organization we've been doing uh, more of, um, especially starting last summer with Google Summer of Code. We had quite a few generative AI projects that we did, um, and we do expect this to be something that we continue. But as an organization, we wanted to kind of bring our thought process to everybody. Like what are the sorts of questions that we're asking ourselves? What are the sorts of things that we're exploring? Perhaps, where do we have doubts? Where do we have, some serious, you know, uh, sense of, like urgency in terms of, trying to explore certain things. This is going to be just a short little presentation of what we're going to do this summer. Today, we're not going to get in depth, but what I do ask anybody watching this to do is, you're welcome to jot down some questions because you'll get chances for, these events, to ask those questions that you have. Especially if you send them in advance. You can put them in the comments for the YouTube channel, for example. Okay, I do have a presentation which is being shared, and it looks like it's very large on the screen, which is good. Okay, so I made this in Music Blocks. Music Blocks is a Sugar Labs project, and I'll explain how my presentation works later. We like to use our own tools for many use cases. So today I'm not using PowerPoint. I'm not even using LibreOffice. I am using code that I made for my presentation, and I made that code within Music Blocks. So Music Blocks can make slideshow presentations. And unlike other slideshow software that you might be familiar with, I added something special, which is some spontaneous music, and I'll go into how that works a little bit, but you'll hear some music as I go through the slides. Okay, so welcome. Let's talk about recent news and upcoming events. Okay, so I do want to review. Last week, we did our website launch party. We have a few of the people that attended that and showed their work here today. Maybe you could take your mics off, unmute your mics real quick and say hello real quick.
Hello everyone. I'm
I think I
Safwan.
hear, yeah, Safwan. Um,
Hello, everybody. I am Shubham.
Great. So, yeah, go ahead.
Hello, I am Ubaid.
Hello, I'm Mohammad Harun.
Awesome. So if you haven't checked out the website yet, I highly encourage you to check out the website. And then there's a few things that you can do on the website that I encourage you to do. You can subscribe to our newsletter. I think that's near the bottom of the page. And at the very bottom, if you're able to, there's a little place where you can, put in a donation. So I encourage you to check out the website, see what we're doing with Music Blocks, with Turtle Blocks, Sugarizer, read a little bit about how to get sugar through Flatpak, etc. It's all right there on the website. Plus, if you've like made some projects and are active within the community, I encourage you to write a blog. So, this helps tell your story, to other people who might want to know more about what Sugar Labs is, what the community is like, and your perspective is super valuable. And it's a great way, by the way, teachers to kind of get people into, the first phase of coding, because our entire website is Git. So you can, make that blog post basically one of their first Git commits, if that makes sense. So they could be using music blocks, turtle blocks, etc. And then, okay, so share your story, write it in Markdown, um, you know, send a merge request or a pull request to the repository, and then that code would be merged into our website, and then it would be displayed on the website. And so that's pretty cool. Okay, some other news. We are participating in Google Summer of Code this year. We know that much. Right now, we don't know how many slots we will get. We sent our rankings over to Google, and they will tell us how many slots we have. We will know by May 7th, I believe. I think May 8th, it becomes public. So very soon here, everyone will know who this year's contributors are. But we're not just doing Google Summer of Code. We are also doing Code for GovTech's DMP program. DMP stands for Dedicated Mentor Program. So, we're encouraging a lot of people to, if they're eligible, to do both, or to apply for both. That just gives us much better coverage because there's been so many really great applications. I just wanted to highlight those two things. We've made tremendous progress over the years. Creating new projects and services and software for learning. The contributors that have done this have learned a lot, and it's overall just been a really great project for what we do here at Sugar Labs. I see that somebody sent me a message. Oh. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Okay, so what are we doing in the coming weeks? So next week, we're doing an event called Sugar Labs and Artificial Intelligence. We're going to go over a few things. The first thing is just talking about, the different kinds of artificial intelligence. There is more than one kind. So we're going to start by just kind of defining the different kinds, getting a little bit into the technology, how each type of AI works, so that we can continue the conversation into the next thing, which is what has Sugar Labs already done, which might be surprising to people in artificial intelligence. I think a lot of folks know us from one laptop per child, and I think I could make a pretty good argument that even on those laptops from 2009, so quite a while back, had a kind of artificial intelligence on it. So and then fast forward to what we're doing today, and then we can talk a little bit about what directions we can take going forward. So it should be a really interesting talk. I encourage you to join this, and you'll learn something new. And it will also set us up for the following week, where we're going to take a step back and just ask the question, what is the role of specifically generative AI in education? Because that's, the type of artificial intelligence that's really been making headlines as of the last few years. And just asking, why? Why generative AI? Also, what are the ethical implications of of generative AI, you know, how it can be used in the classroom. Should it be used in the classroom? We can ask all those questions. And we have a special guest for that day. His name is Ken Kahn, and I have his book right here. Hold on a second. So he wrote The Learner's Apprentice. And so here's a, you know, if you're watching this, this is a good chance right now to pick up this book in advance so that you can read it. You can get it on the Constructing Modern Knowledge Press website. So cmkpress.com will tell you how to purchase it. And you can learn a little bit more about, you know, a different perspective on using generative AI in the classroom. The week after that, we're going to do some demonstrations of, you know, a generative AI specifically that the Sugar Labs community has made. So that should be fun. You can see some things that we're doing, and you can kind of see what, you know, our particular approach to using generative AI for teaching and learning is, and how far we've gotten so far in terms of exploring that frontier. Yeah, so that's it. Anyone watching this today, tomorrow, a week from now, a year from now is welcome to contact us. You can check out our new website, sugarlabs.org. You can send us an email, info@sugarlabs.org. You could send in, you know, some specific questions that you really want us to explore during one of these events. If you are on social media, you can go to mastodon.social, and you can find Sugar Labs. You can search for it. And again, we are a 501c3 nonprofit organization. So if you're able to, and you like what we're doing, and you want to help us, you know, really, you know, steer, you know, continue, you know, making these explorations, you know, creating software, you know, for teaching and learning in this constructionist way, we can, you know, we ask that you consider making a donation. So that's it from me. I just want to say thank you to everyone, and you know, I look forward to seeing you next week when we, you know, talk a little bit more about Sugar Labs and AI, our past, present, and future. Okay, so bye.